Welcome, everyone. What's good? How is everybody doing? We got two people in here? Cool, man. I'm just coming up here to kick it. I mean, if no one comes in and kicks it, I'll get right back off here and go take a nap. Four people in here? We got four? Salute to y'all, man. What's good, Crisis? You already know, G. I gotcha. I gotcha. The link. You hear Jack in the background? Oh, they're making a plane, huh? What's good, Primo? Working, listening to you, me screaming? I'll quit screaming, bro. My bad. Y'all good? All right. All right. Now we're good. Usually, it takes me about 5 minutes to pregame to warm up. Maybe I'll stop doing that on here and just get ready before I come on here. A lot of things are gonna change soon, man. There's gonna be a different little format. I might start doing a lot more videos. What the fuck? There we go. You see all this room we have over here? That's thanks to y'all. I got all this room because of y'all, guys. I ain't come on here to get on Jack, y'all. I surely didn't. I just come on here basically because I wanna talk politics with y'all for a minute. There's something crazy. There's something crazy going on in our country, man, and I'm trying to learn who you guys are as well as you guys are trying to find out who I am, right? So with that, Jesus Christ, there we go. Get back up here. Come on. There we go. All right. So with that, I know where you guys stand. I know like your vote, how you're gonna vote. I mean, I don't really care because politics is something that a lot of people don't mess with too much. But we're gonna go over some things. Check this story out, guys. Check this story out.
Installs more razor wire on Eagle Pass border after Supreme Court said Biden could remove it. Texas will not back down from our efforts to secure the border in Biden's absence. I was thinking about Civil War earlier today, and Fort Sumter, the start of the Civil War, we say Fort Sumter. And then there's the first Battle of Bull Run or the Battle of Manassas. And I'm thinking, I wonder if in 100 years they're going to say the first battle at Eagle Pass, or they're going to say Eagle Pass was the start of the Second Civil War.
Oh,
I don't know. It could just, we can't see the future. It'll be hindsight being 2020. 100 years from now, they're going to look back and who knows? They could say the 2020 election. They could say January 6th. They could say a lot of things. But right now, what we're looking at is an escalation of what is effectively a Fort Sumter-esque moment. I said it was literally Fort Sumter, and Ian got mad, and he said, no, it's figuratively, because they're not actually there. And I'm like, no. I am saying it is literally the circumstances of Fort Sumter. In this instance, the federal government has asserted its jurisdiction on a border. However, it is facilitating criminal actions. Customs and Border Protection agents are committing crimes, serious humanitarian violations and criminal activities. Texas is trying to stop them, deploying armed soldiers. I think people should understand. It's fascinating when I talk about Civil War several years ago, and people are like, you really think there's going to be like armed soldiers marching against the federal government?
It turns out.
Texas deployed armed National Guard to push out the feds who have went to the Supreme Court, asserted their jurisdiction here, and Texas said, F off.
Yep.
And what does the federal government do?
Well, as long as Texas is going to hold the line, which I think is awesome, and I support them doing that, I think that we need to encourage more red states to follow suit, like West Virginia, for instance, Ohio.
What's good, Crisis? What's good, Super Co? How y'all doing, man?
And in the National Guard as well to give them some backup right now.
You think we should send in the National Guard to Texas?
Well, Texas's National Guard is there. Right. I believe that they're going to hold the line on this issue of our country being invaded right now. I would love to see West Virginia send ours in there to send backup.
That's such a huge escalation.
Yeah, well, I think that that's warranted at this
point. You have no idea what I would do if I was the governor.
Do this. Same. That's what if I was in charge, I would.
Where are you at on this, AD?
I would send the National Guard.
What's that?
Where are you at on this?
I say I say close the borders. Close the borders, bro. There's legal reasons. There's legal ways to get into our country. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't fault the people that are coming across either. I fault government.
Right. Let me ask you a question. Because you see what you just did just now. You see how like you spoke on what your stance is, but then you felt the need to also justify the fact that you're not against people coming over, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that there's something wrong with the fact that you need to justify the fact that you don't necessarily want to see illegal people coming over?
No, I don't feel like I don't have to just. I don't think that it's the fact that illegal people are coming over here. I think it's people trying to flee the country and that they have no chance.
No.
What I'm referring. Hold your thought real quick.
Yeah. So what I'm referring to for the chat. What I'm referring to in the chat is AD said his stance, right? And his stance was very clear, but yet the environment that we live in makes it so that you have to then caveat your stance and claim that you're not against people coming in. What I'm saying is, don't you think that that's even wrong? That's wrong that you even have to do that.
Like, I didn't do anything, Crosses. I didn't make up
No, 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 no. What I'm saying to you, because you didn't, it's not like you said anything that was a lie. What I'm saying is that it should be okay for you to say your stance and that be it.
Oh, it is. It is.
Right. Without having to
But what I'm saying is on the
without
flip
having to
side,
justify it.
if I'm not justifying it, but if I'm a Mexican living in Mexico, and no matter how fucking hard I work, I'm never going to be able to have things like Americans do. Then I also understand why the fuck they're trying to get here.
Right.
But
And what I
not everybody that follows the path to get here the proper way ever even gets here.
what I'm trying to say to you, AD, is if you actually go and look at the news on the Mexican side in terms of the immigrant shit, they're not talking about Mexicans trying to get here.
Oh, I know.
It's not Mexicans trying
Well,
to get
yeah,
here.
I get it. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So,
I'm not for anybody else trying to get in this motherfucker.
And that's why I'm saying to you, like the way that the algorithm works, it's like they want you to almost apologize for having the type of stance that you have when you shouldn't have to apologize for shit.
Yeah, no, I was born here.
Exactly. If
I
you're
was born here.
listen, bro, let me tell you something. You know who was the most anti illegal immigrant people that I spoke to 5 or 6 years ago?
This isn't racism.
And now you know who it was? You know who it was?
This isn't
It was-
anti-racism.
It was generational Mexicans who were born here, who had been here for a while. So it wasn't racism, because when we look at it, we think about it from the media standpoint. The media will make you believe that it's just Mexicans coming across the border. These aren't Mexicans. These are Chinese.
No, actually, the media is showing the other thing too, bro.
They're showing the other thing now, but I'm talking about like the mainstream media. Like CNN isn't showing what OAN is showing. You know what OAN is, right?
Yeah, they're not
Okay.
showing what Channel 5 showing.
Okay.
There's people coming from all over the world. Yeah, you're right.
All over the world.
Yeah.
And they're
It's
coming
mostly
here,
African countries that they're catching now.
and they're coming here by the hundreds, not by the dozens,
Oh, they're coming
but
here by
by
the thousands, bro.
maybe by the thousands.
27,000 crossing that one border crossing in one day.
And now it's no longer just happening in the southern border. It's also happening in the northern border.
Well, going through Canada and coming through Canada is a little bit tougher than fucking that place down south. I'll tell you that.
It's definitely a little bit tougher. But it doesn't mean that it's not happening though.
Oh, it's happening, but damn, bro, you think like it would be if it was just as hard as it is to go into Canada and to come in America from Canada as it was in the South? Come on. That's crazy.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact, bro. And the reason why is because Canada knows that when I say we're gonna whoop their ass,
Yeah.
they know that we'll whoop their ass monetarily. We'll whoop their ass if they just let too much shit come through. With Mexico, it's a whole different story.
Yeah, they got cartels
down there, and I want
to see what these dudes say. Let's see if they even bring up what it is.
What you smoking on, Just? What's going on over here?
On Jack Frost.
No. We're not doing the Chicago shit.
We smoking on it.
Better. We gotta be better.
Right.
encourage my
I would
surrounding
send them
states to
down
do
there.
the same.
And
Yeah.
governors have done
I would
Yes.
instruct the West Virginia National
So
Guard to
what they're discussing is actually Texas is taking a stand. God dang it! Texas is issuing their own National Guard to the borders. They're putting up
seize the
extra
CBP
razor wire.
facility over on
Yes.
340. We know
AD,
for a
it's not
fact
only on them.
CBP agents, they're on camera.
Florida is sending National Guard. Florida is sending National Guard to Texas to help them do their border. So just had to mention that.
Smuggling humans,
Bet.
Children, sex trafficking.
It is insane to me. There was a video I showed earlier where someone actually interviewed one of these agents, as they're facilitating human smuggling, working with cartels. And they go, well, it's crazy. They're letting them in. And the guy, I don't know who actually produced the video. He says, it's strange because when they say they're being allowed in, it's CBP who's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Channel 5.
there's a facility over in West Virginia, not too far away from here, a massive CBP facility.
I didn't know this. I didn't know that.
Oh, that's right over there.
Great.
And I'm wondering, how could anyone work? I don't care if you're slinging coffee.
Yeah.
We know for a fact that CBP agents are engaged in human trafficking right now, working children working with cartels, breaking the law, and are staging. They are the villains, the bad guys fighting against the sovereignty and the law. And there are people in West Virginia who are like, "This is my job."
Hey,
My job. Oh, well, you're a
pause it
scumbag.
real quick, please.
But I think this question of how
I want everybody to understand that this is literally treason.
Yep.
I just want y'all to understand that. So when somebody decides to actually bring the boot down, they're not bringing the boot down on some shit like drug trafficking, but no, they're bringing the boot down on treason. This is treason against the sovereignty of the United States of America. I want y'all to understand that what he's saying right now.
Yeah, he's saying that some states may fall from America just because of this fucking reason.
Go ahead and continue. I just wanted you to.
Well, we remember this history is really interesting. Like you were saying, are we going to look back at this and say, is this the battle of Eagle Pass? To me, it reminds me more of the standoff at Ruby Ridge, right? There was a time when we saw the federal government being aggressive and we waited to see what would happen. In this case,
The Ruby Ridge was a handful of people.
But what I'm saying is it's interesting to look back and say, you know, at the time, the federal government said we're justified in what we're doing. And we look back and say, like, was that the correct thing to do? Will we look back at the border, people who don't necessarily see illegal immigration as a problem, and will they look back at it and say,
regret it?
Yeah. Will they say, oh, we should have let the razor wire stay? We know why Texas is. We understand this now because we live with the consequences of those actions.
Well, and this is why this is not a time for weak politicians. I mean, it really isn't. This is a time where we need some patriots to get involved in politics. Because a politician's not going to send in the National Guard from West Virginia, Ohio, or Kentucky, but patriots. Someone like
because I want to hear you. I want to hear you, AD. So
I got you.
Yeah, make sure you pause it.
Carrie Lake, because she was in charge of Arizona right now. I guarantee you their National Guard would be doing the same thing right now at the Arizona border.
Well, that was one of her campaign promises.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think West Virginia state governance should immediately have an investigation into the CBP facility.
Yes.
They should be subpoenaing records. They should be getting warrants. They should be going through all their documents. To what degree is the CBP in West Virginia working with or facilitating the trafficking that's happening at the border? Because we know, and I'm wondering how much this affects West Virginia. We know that CBP is bringing these people to airports, to bus charters, and having them sent around the country. In an interview, one of these guys says they're given a $2,000 or $3,000 gift card.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're given accommodation and places to sleep.
Pause it right there.
I do not believe.
So AD, again, this goes back to the whole treason part. For one, them removing the razor wire is already treason. That's already treason. It's already treason.
Yep.
Now,
putting it back up can't be treason.
They're removing the razor wire, which means that they're removing the barrier between our country and theirs.
Well, they're putting it back up.
They're now trying to put it back up.
Yeah.
Only because of the fact that people pointed out that they were taking it down.
Yeah.
Treason.
Yeah. They were coming, there were people coming with a bulldozer lifting the fence up from our side.
So
come on.
Right.
West Virginia is not one of these destinations. I think it is extremely likely these people are being sent here to the extent that they can be due to infrastructure. I think the fact that we know and have seen on video, and you can go down there and witness it for yourself, that CBP agents are engaged in human trafficking, that's more than enough probable cause for the
Even if they don't know what they're doing, that doesn't stop them from being involved, dude.
What is human trafficking? Human trafficking literally just means
moving one person to one place to the next.
Exactly. Across state
knowing
lines.
that they have been trafficked.
Across state lines. It's
Well, they can even know.
It's called the Mann Act. The Mann Act is what they enabled when they were trying to get at Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson, the former boxer, when
Right, Trail.
they were trying to get at Jack Johnson, they enabled the Mann Act. That's human trafficking, the movement of a human being across state lines illegally.
Yeah, even if they know or don't know,
Exactly.
because some of them jump into this shit to be trafficked just along and along. I'm with the old school immigration thing, right? You make it across that wall, you suffer until you get and build your own life, right? That's how I feel. If your life sucks so bad over there, you know, Mexico's not, they don't say a third world country, but you go deep enough into Mexico, it's third world as fuck.
Absolutely.
Like, if they want to get out of that and they want to go through all the risks in the world to get here and they somehow make it here, I don't blame them. But build your life. Don't think you can come across the border and then America's gonna fly you here, fly you there. Oh, they got little tricks they're pulling.
The thing is, AD, the thing is though, these guys all have proper channels to get into the government, to get into the country anyway, man. They don't have to go the extra links, man. Some of them do, but for the most part, man, all they got to do is go down to their government and start the paperwork, bro.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I'm for that,
vetted, bro. And
I'm
be
for
vetted,
that, bro. I'm for that.
And who's that? Is that Liberty? Is that Liberty?
Stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to go back. I can see trying to get back.
Liberty.
I do.
You remember what they used to say about the people who came from Cuba? They're like, if you're able to make it to the shore, then they would give you the asylum. Okay. Yeah. So the thing is that doesn't apply to everybody. That applies specifically to Cuba.
Because Cuba is a territory of the United States, though.
So this is why they did it only for Cuba. But everybody else who's doing it, we're being told in the media like, oh, if they can make it to our border, then they should be. No,
they did. Trail. You're right. The Biden administration is for this, bro. It's practically the only way they can win the elections if they get these people in here to get them to vote for them.
Hey yo, AD, check this out, right? Check this out. So they trying to make it so that people can vote who are also illegal immigrants, right? They're trying to make it that way.
If that's the case, then they should be able to be fucking president.
Now let me ask you a question. If you went to France, do you think that France would let you vote in their election?
No.
Exactly. So why the fuck are we trying to allow immigrants to vote in our elections?
There's people in our country right now, in our goddamn government, that would love to watch this fucking country burn. And that's just the way it is. We need to root these bitches out.
Legal apparatus of West Virginia to go in
Absolutely.
with a bunch of guys in police jackets and start ripping through those documents to figure out what it is CBP is doing and why they're doing it. I think anybody who works for CBP at this point who hasn't resigned over this is a scumbag.
Well, and let me just say, if our West Virginia elected legislators and elected officials are not going to do that, then they should everyone be primaried and kicked out of office, because they don't have the courage to step up and do that when it's happening in our state. Because everybody loves to sit back and say, oh, this is happening over in another. This is happening. I didn't know this is happening in West Virginia. This is crazy because I'm on the other.
Well, we don't know what is happening.
Well, I know, but I mean that there was a facility there. I should say. I didn't know this, and so I agree. I think that at the very least there should be some proper investigations into that. We know there's 85,000 missing children that we know of right now.
Well, and there's got to be more than
5,000 missing children, bro.
That's the problem.
And bro, this is what I've been bringing up on social media for the last 3 years. When everybody's talking about how many cops kill black people and shit like that,
fuck that.
I would bring up the statistics for them. I'm like, okay, 253 people were killed by the police.
Yeah.
And that's across all demographics.
Yeah. And how many of them are black? 100?
But here's the crazy thing. The crazy thing is when you look up how many kids go missing every year.
Bro, a new poster just went up at my dollar store, dude. A new poster. I just seen it today. A new fucking poster of a fucking 11-year-old boy.
People want to sit here and turn the border wall into a political thing, but they don't understand, man. A lot of people don't know that because they don't live in a border state, but that wall's been up for decades and decades and decades. They're just finishing it. They're just covering parts of the land that, were never crossed and shit like that.
Yeah. There's always been like a wall where you can't, like, it's got gaps in it, but you can't really fit through it. It's got they got fencing. They got
down by El Paso in Texas and shit like that. They got it where it's like a median wall, like between cars, about halfway up, maybe your chest, and then from there up another 10 feet. It's just fencing and shit, bro.
Yeah,
Liberty.
People
What the problem is?
Across our border for years. It isn't like they're all just trying to it's like the plot and plan to get across. No way.
It's ain't new. They're just making it a political argument. That's all.
Yeah.
It is. What you saying, Crisis?
No, the problem, Liberty, is that what they're trying to do is they're trying to keep us divided. So, the way that if they can keep me arguing with you about police shooting black people, 253 in 1 year, right?
Yeah.
But yet, if you add 2 zeros behind that, that's not even half of the amount of people who go missing every year.
You're talking about a tenth of the people that are missing adds up to what police violence is.
So what is the existential? Hold up, AD. What is the existential threat to us as a society? Is it the police shooting, or is it these people going missing?
Yeah, it's the human trafficking aspect.
And they never want to talk about the people who go missing ever. They never want to talk about that.
If you think about what you just said, right? What you just said was they just want to keep us arguing. That's the reason why we hold elections every 4 years. We'll argue for 2 years. Shit'll start to calm down a little bit, and next thing you know, we're revamping up for another election. Now we got.
Yeah, I've always said that our president.
Now we got to talk about guns. Now we got to talk about race. Now we got to talk about classism and shit like that. But the whole thing is
to keep us at war.
Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. For you, Liberty,
are really on the same side, bro. They just it's a facade, bro. It's a facade.
Exactly.
I don't believe anything anymore.
So, for you, Liberty, and for everybody on the stage right now, right? If you see some fuck shit happening, whether it's your kid or not, if you see a child who clearly the person who's with them is not their parent.
Oh yeah, we don't play that shit, bro.
Oh, exactly. So you already have that ingrained in your soul,
right?
You know what I mean? But the thing is we're so conditioned to believe what the media is saying that we think that the existential threat is the 253 people being killed by the police.
Right.
Yeah, it's sad that the women are getting deleted in the process, bro. It's all men coming across that border, bro. You think they're all here to do good? Fuck no.
Nah, bro.
Not even half of them are.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. I moved to El Paso, Texas in 1998, right? The 9/11 attacks happened in 2001. I was there for a few years already when the shit had happened, but I was working for the Army base, man. I had a homegirl that was working in a Shell station, right? She was the manager of that shit. One day, an immigrant came in there to pull some money out of the ATM, accidentally left his wallet on top of the ATM. So my friend, this homegirl, that she's just trying to be a good person, she goes to get the wallet. She's the manager of the store, mind you. And she's trying to figure out how to return this wallet. And she opens it up, and there's 6 different IDs with 6 different passports and 6 different social security cards. You can't tell me that we don't have sleeper cells in America, bro.
Yes, dude.
Exactly.
That's the one thing that they think is the way to take us down. That's the only way they can even begin to think to take us down, dude.
What's more important? What's more important? 250 people getting shot by the police, or the thousands of people of their lives that's at stake because we let people just openly come into our border without vetting them?
Exactly.
Yeah. But we all think about, we always sit around, we go, well, there's definitely sleeper cells here. There's definitely sleeper cells here. You think that we don't have them there in their countries?
I'm sure we do, but we call them CIA.
Yeah.
Yo, there you go. There you go, Liberty. Exactly. Like the thing is that
he's right.
they're applying in the homeland what they've been doing abroad.
Right.
And now we have to deal with it. But when we have to deal with it, the problem with us is we've been conditioned to fight against each other. Why does Liberty have to be my enemy?
Right.
Because he looks different. Because he looks different than me. Is that the reason?
I've never done that to people. Never judged them off of it. Right?
And
You're
mind
right,
you, when you listen to like different content creators, right? They'll parrot that same paradigm. Like, you know, this, you know, us against them, whatever. But the reality is that they don't give a fuck about none of us.
That's
true. You're right. Let me ask you this.
The government only cares about the people that are next to them in that high class, that 1%.
Right.
That's all they care about. They don't care about.
If you watch these content creators, dude, they only hang out with the creators that are around the same amount of subscribers they have or viewers they have.
It's the paradigm. It's the paradigm, AD. It's
the echo chamber, bro.
Exactly. That's what I mean. The echo chamber, the paradigm.
You got to explain that, Crisis. A lot of people, that's not a very used word.
Because the thing is that everybody who is saying and parroting the same message that they are, that's what they hang around. That's what they hang around.
Get you to believe
a paradigm basically is we can all be looking at the same quarter, right? But that doesn't, we all see the same quarter. That doesn't mean we all see the same thing. One of us might see the rigid side. One of us might see the eagle on the back. One of us might see the head on the front. However, it's the same thing. That's the basic idea of how to explain a paradigm. You know what I mean? It's one's point of views.
It's almost like an echo chamber.
Point of views at the same thing, but they're all different point of views.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fact. And that's the reason
why. Echo chamber is where they want you to believe their view. And they want you parroting their view.
And that's the reason. That's the reason, AD, why when you do stuff like this and you have people come up, and it's people from all walks of life, bro. Like you have people from all walks of life come up on your stage, and guess what? We all get along.
Yeah.
This is the type of shit that
even when we disagree.
But this is the type of shit that they hate.
Yeah.
They hate this shit because
they don't want us to be able to think on our own.
Exactly, because at the end of the day,
to be able to come to a conclusion together.
If me and Liberty can still get along, even though we don't look the same, that means that we understand the existential threat is not
each other.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's not
both of you. Do you believe that what you see in the world today, as far as like communicating with other people, that we're headed on the right track?
Absolutely not.
Some of this shit?
Absolutely not.
Man, especially with this AI shit, bro. I don't believe hardly nothing that I hear or see either now because
I agree with that. But what we got to do is start with the human aspect of it.
You'll see a YouTube commercial and it'll be like The Rock. And it'll at first you're like, okay, The Rock endorses this shit. And then the more you listen to, you're like, that ain't really his voice. And that shit don't really match up with what he's saying. And I doubt he endorses whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
The more I
it's all deep fakes
come into play, it's making it to where humans are going to be conditioned to either listen and believe everything they say or the complete opposite. They're going to be like, man, I don't trust nothing.
AD, I'm gonna be honest.
Not a good place to be.
I'm gonna be honest with you, AD. When I listen to, like, for example, what Liberty just said was spot on, 100%, right? So when I'm listening to people talk, I'm just trying to see how human they sound.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we're all fighting for humanity. It doesn't matter if I don't look like Liberty.
All right, let's get back to this because I don't want to drift off too far.
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go back to what you're talking about because it all falls in line.
Conversation,
right?
Yes,
because
exactly.
There's a rule, and this was like a judge who said that it was like the Flores settlement, this whole thing. So basically, like a judge said that children need to be released, unaccompanied minors need to be released. They can't be held without, for like very long time or whatever, and they were very displeased with the conditions that children were being held in. So it was like, okay, the children have to be released. Children would be released. There'd be sponsors, etc. DHS doesn't even know who the sponsors are. There's no vetting. And then after, and this was like in
No vetting.
when was the Flores thing? It was like in the 90s or something like that. But it keeps coming up. And then Obama took the Flores settlement and was like, okay, well, we're gonna have to separate the kids from the adults, and that's how family separation started. You separate the kids from the adults so that the kids would be released, but you wouldn't be releasing the adults. And then this, it comes up again, and it turns out now you have to release the adults with the children if they come across, and it creates this golden ticket situation, and you don't even know who the adults are. And you have like so many reporters have gone down and reported on the border showing that.
Let me tell you something, man. You know what they're doing? Check this shit out, dude. They're writing a phone number on these children's hands or on their arms.
I was just about to say that.
They get found across the border. Guess what they do? You got to come pick up your child. One-way ticket into paradise, baby.
AD,
then they ain't gonna make sure you get out.
Take it a step further, though, AD. How the fuck is a child making a 3,000-mile trek?
Fucking wild, bro.
To get to the U.S. There's no way that a child by themselves are making a 3,000-mile trek.
They create these little gaps that people can work under it and loopholes.
Yeah, I don't care how many. I mean, third world country kids got it hard, so they will go the extra mile. But I know kids in general around the neighborhood. Man, they barely want to do their goddamn chores, much less going.
You're damn right.
3,000 miles
to get grounded and play on their PlayStations and shit.
3,000 miles is what we're led to believe that's what they're doing by themselves.
No way. No way.
How?
They're doing it. It's coyotes, man. It's organized.
Yeah, for sure.
People, before they cross the border, they'll ditch their ID documents.
Yeah, they show them laying there around the border. And people need to remember, your tax dollars are paying for our own government.
They are, bro.
You're aiding and abetting the child sex trafficking of children.
They're doing it.
It's crazy.
When you look at the effect and the impact, you can only start to believe that this is what they wanted to happen.
Absolutely.
They must want a huge cartel-backed child sex ring happening in the United States. They must want lots of our citizens to be dying from fentanyl overdoses. They must want that. They must want the destruction of our children.
Who is this lady?
Her name is Lizzie or Liz something. I'm thinking. I'll get it for you. She's
they were literally like, think about it. At one point, they were saying all the borders closed. They were just saying it was blind. But then Texas, it starts building their own barriers. And the Joe Biden administration, the Democrats are actively suing to open it back up
every time.
So they can't even hide from this anymore and pretend that it's not.
But then they say,
well,
Congress has to do something.
Yeah.
So the federal,
and I would veto any bill that
they're literally fighting to open.
Bro, the federal government, what he just said. The federal government is suing the state to make them open their border back up. When they went to shut the border down, like, what the fuck are we talking about right now?
Right, that's just crazy, bro.
That's nuts, man.
That's
what I'm saying. I believe there's really people in our government that want to watch America go down.
Right. The thing is, like
Rome.
If I own land on the border, who are you to tell me that I can't protect my land?
Damn right. Right.
You can tell me, you know what? You need to go and make sure that you have some kind of insurance in case something happens, you're covered. And I could understand that. But for you to tell me that you can't even put up a wall, you can't put up razor wire, you can't put up a fence because
and then tell me how I can and can't judge how I do that border.
Right. That's completely backwards. It's ass backwards, man.
And then sue anybody trying to stop it. What?
Unless your goal
is to happen.
Exactly.
And allow our country to be invaded. Like there's no way around it.
The bad guys here are the CBP agents themselves.
Yeah.
They're the Nazi guards.
And
they're the Nazi guards.
I will say this right now. I will lighten up a little bit to the CBP agents that may hear this. I assume if you're just now finding out, like you work, let's say you work in the facility over off 340 and you're filing paperwork and you do accounting stuff and you have no idea what's going on. Okay, I think it's fair that upon discovery of what the Biden administration is doing, you resigning is the noble thing to do. For those that know exactly what's going on and what's being done and either are complicit, involved in it, or knowing it's happening, don't care and say, leave me out of it, I'll take my paycheck. I will say,
you're going to go to jail.
There is nothing I pray for more right now.
You pay taxes
than to
on
see
your
these
land.
people rot in prison for the rest of their lives.
Still the government's. We know that.
You can come to me and you can offer me an infinity pool, a Ferrari, and a great mansion. I'll say, I want none of those things. You come to me and say, we'll give you one thing. I say, I want those people arrested. I want them in
too
jail.
much power.
I want each and every one of these CBP agents that's down there on the border arrested by the Texas National Guard and Texas State Troopers and locked up. And
can I say something real quick?
And say, but why?
I just want to say one thing real quick. Well, two things. One, his background is badass. He has the gun, the sword, and the guitar.
Oh, Tim Cat, you know who he is?
No, I don't. Who is that?
He's the guy that basically kicked Vice off when he was going over to Ukraine and doing all that on the spot fucking shit for Ukraine and Poland when they were having their little civil wars and shit.
Oh, okay.
He helped Vice get going, bro. Yeah, he was one of the first ones.
That's the first thing I wanted to say. The second thing I want to say is this. Here's what I'm going to tell y'all. Anybody who tells you that you shouldn't vote because it doesn't matter, fuck that. You know what I mean? What you have to do, if you have the ability to vote, what you have to do is overwhelm the system to the point where they can't cheat.
Shock and awe.
And vote for what you believe in. Don't vote.
Let everyone else know you voted too. That way,
and let everyone know. Let everyone know what you voted for, who you voted for, what platform you support. All of that shit.
Part. And see, the thing is, like back in the days, they used to like promote, like, "Oh, that's your vote. Keep it to yourself. Nobody needs to know it." Well, yeah, because if nobody knows where you stand at, then it's easier for the people that's playing puppet master to pull other people's strings and cheat. Yeah, but if everybody's out there throwing it up on their page or whatever, oh, I believe in this, or I think this guy's stance on that is great, and his stance on that is shit. I mean, then once you see it more in front of you like that, then it's more apparent and it's harder for them to go out and do shit behind your back.
That's a fact, Liberty. And that's what I'm saying that everybody needs to do. We need to overwhelm the system and let them know, hey, we voted and this is what we voted for. So that way, if we see something other than that, and we know that the majority of us have spoken up and said that this is what we did, then
oh boy. This conversation just got even better when I played something that Dog sent me after this.
Question, right? So the Constitution is a living document. That's what they call it, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So how come the Constitution's been living in 1861 for the last 300 years? You know what I mean? Like,
some law changes.
How come we don't get no revisions of this Constitution? How come? Because we don't live in the same day and era that we did back then, and it's only right that this living Constitution follows along with the culture.
Yeah, but Liberty, the thing
we've
is,
given them.
My bad. Go ahead. My bad.
You're on it. I'm just saying something stupid.
So look. So here's the thing, though, Liberty. Here's the thing. The Constitution was written with the idea that if the government ever became tyrannical, that the people would take it back.
Yes.
But here's the thing, though. We're so scared because we've been beaten down by the media to not speak up. We're so scared to speak up that now we allow the media to dictate to us what the government actually is.
Right.
I think they don't realize there's not enough jails and prisons to house us all.
And AD, I've mentioned this a dozen times already. I tell people that when I was in high school, I had an algebra 2 teacher who had a 30% pass rate on his class. When one person argued against him, that person got suspended from school. When an entire class walked out on him, he got fired.
Yep.
That's what we need to start to understand.
Yeah,
and it's
Go ahead.
One voice doesn't move the mountains. You know what I mean? It takes everyone together, and that's why
because you're a human.
They've been beating us down, bro. Go ahead, Libby. I didn't want to cut you off.
That's why they keep us separate. That's why they keep us, bro. If we had 8-year terms for presidents and we did the same thing with Congress, not give these congressional people multiple terms where they can't stay in office for 30, 40 years. I mean, I think that democracy is a good thing, but the way that we're doing it, it's just not right, bro. It needs to be.
Bro, we're not. But Liberty, we're not even a democracy, bro. We're a democratic republic.
Right at this point.
No, that's what we always have been, a republic. Right. Think about the Pledge of Allegiance. What does it say? And for the what? For the republic in which it stands. You know what I'm saying?
Human smuggler. You scumbags.
Oh, get them, Tim.
Are abject smugglers. They are quite literally the
we got to fire
figuratively
today,
the demons in the devil's army. I mean that figuratively, perhaps some people believe it literally. This smuggling operation that we are seeing that has Eric Adams in panic, Democrats freaking out, people in Chicago in uproar, their schools are being taken over. And it is these agents on the border with smiles on their faces saying, I don't know, I'm getting paid.
Just doing my job.
I'm getting paid. It's great. I get my paycheck.
My job.
Hey man, I don't care about what's happening in this country. I don't care what happens to you. I don't care how many people die. I don't care how many people die trying to cross through these deserts. They are getting paid, and that's all they care about. I hope, if anything. And I don't believe this will happen, but I really
let him over the wall
and when Donald Trump gets elected, one of the first things he does is sends federal agents to arrest all of the agents
what did you say, Andy? What did you say?
Operations. It's the first thing
let him over the wall to die across from the fucking desert.
When he begins his mass wave of deportations, he says the first thing we have to do is stop the human smuggling operation and those who facilitated it. We know for a fact who it was because their names are all in our books. And so I'm going to make sure I do everything in my power, that I lobby every politician I know, that I speak with anyone I know who's working in government and say, I expect these men to be in prison. Now, to be fair, I expect criminal charges to be brought against them, the evidence to be presented in a court of law, and for the sentence to be
treason
warranted for the crime committed. And I don't know, how many years do you think you get for human smuggling?
Treason.
Not enough.
Biden should get treason.
Maybe
just
treason
and the people that made these things okay to be done, treason. The people that have been, the officers that are allowing it at the border, that's damn smuggling.
100 hours community service.
Oh yeah,
something like that.
The weed psychosis lady. No, but look, there's going to be some guy who's 23 and he's like, I don't know, my boss just told me to be a human smuggler, and I'm like, okay. I'm looking forward to the day you cry as you're being ripped from your home and thrown into the back.
Do you
of a
think that some of
car.
these people should be charged with treason for aiding and abetting?
It's not treason. It's sedition.
Hold on. Before he goes there.
He said treason.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe that? Okay, let me ask you a question real quick for both of you. Have either one of you actually watched the Nuremberg trials?
I didn't watch them all, no.
Okay.
But I've seen a lot of them.
If you ever watched the Nuremberg trials, you see that what the overwhelming answer was for why they did what they did was we were just following orders.
Yep.
We were just following orders.
Yep.
But
I don't respect people like that.
Because it's still treason. At the end of the day, it's still treason.
Not for them that are underneath the order givers. No. That makes them smugglers. But the people that have given the orders to do this, yes.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
This guy he says it though. You said treason. He said it.
I'm looking forward to the day you cry as you're being ripped from your home and thrown into the back.
Do you think that some of these people should be charged with treason for aiding and abetting the invasion?
It's not treason, it's sedition.
Oh, okay. Or sedition. Do you think some of these people should be charged with some of that? I know there's a little bit different than the
agents.
Trafficking. Correct.
So the higher ranking agents who are aware of what's going on, yes, they're involved in a seditious conspiracy. I think the agents on the border who are just told, hey, be a human smuggler, they know they're trafficking humans.
Yeah, there's no way they don't know.
They know. So that would be a human smuggling.
Can't plead ignorance at this point.
Smuggling non-citizens into the U.S., it looks like it's punishable by up to 20 years in prison.
Great. That's a good amount of time.
It can be extended to life if someone dies as a result.
Well, there's been a lot that's died.
And there are already stories that we've pulled up where
there's already been deaths.
AD, in 50 years, our children's children are going to look back on our moment in history, and they're going to look at and see, and they're going to ask the question, What did we do when we understood what was happening?
They're gonna look at our videos, Crisis. See, this is why we make these videos. These are videos that our children, Liberty's kid, Crisis's son, Crisis' children, my children can look back and say, "Damn, Dad was on the right track. Dad was doing things."
Are you on the right side of history? Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. That's why you act like you're a fucking adult up here, sir.
Exactly.
Idiot.
People have been criminally charged by the DOJ for transporting within the country criminal aliens. So there were two soldiers, two enlisted guys who didn't smuggle these guys across the border. They were just transporting them, knowing they were getting paid to do it, and they went to prison. That was several years ago. I think that was during the Trump years. Now the Biden administration ordered these guys to be criminal. I'm sorry, dude. If your boss comes to you and says rob a bank and you go, I guess I have to do it, I look forward to seeing you in prison.
I just
now,
real
quick,
especially during the code. Go ahead, Liberty. Sorry.
Little Johnny goes and jumps off the fucking bridge. Are you going to jump off the bridge too? Yep, no, that shit was drilled into my head. Look, if you know something is morally wrong or you know something is going to get you in trouble, you don't have to do it. You're not you know, what's the word I'm looking for? You can't be held accountable for doing.
You don't have the moral high ground. The moral high ground.
Right.
What about the people during COVID that were going in and shutting people's fucking businesses down and shit because they didn't have plastic up? I don't have respect for them people just doing their jobs.
Another thing, bro, if you think about what we was talking about earlier, right? Man, I guarantee you almost as many people, I don't know the numbers, so I'm not going to be like, it's a fact, but I guarantee you at least a couple hundred people a year die trying to get across that goddamn border.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, no, absolutely. Absolutely.
Just like
that's true. There's death.
And if you went and you closed that border up, people wouldn't be so like aspired to go do it. Oh, I think I can make it, man. I've heard stories of people making it. Yep. No, man, the border's closed. You're not gonna get across.
And when you get there,
you know what I mean? You'll have less
good point,
deaths.
Liberty. Good point. We should be telling the world right now, we're done. Go home.
Hey, business.
The higher ups of the Biden administration, seditious conspiracy, 100%. Lock them up.
Closed.
I just think this is the point where people who work as border agents for the federal government should consider leaving for, to be a border agent, joining the Texas National Guard. They should move to the state level because it seems, at least in this case, like the states are willing to do something the federal government isn't, which is to defend the rights of the people in their communities.
You go, girl.
I get that the idea of being like, you can't just ask them to leave their jobs is scary. I understand that, but they are in a specialized career where, as far as I know, it's chronically understaffed at the state and federal level. So they could leave. They could change.
They could at least be whistleblowers.
Yeah. No. You come to me and you say, Tim, I can't quit my job because my kids need food. And I say, okay, what's your job? I work at the cracker factory. And I want to support Trump. My company's super woke, and I'm scared if I speak up, I'll get fired. How am I going to feed my family? I say, well, that's a tough position. I understand. I do. Do your best, make money, protect your family. You come to me and say, I can't quit my job. My kid needs food. I go, what's your job? I'm a human smuggler. I say, I look forward to seeing you locked up. I look forward to the day your children are crying as they are ripped from your arms as you are thrown in the back of a police van for being a human smuggler. You do not get to live in the comfort of your own home as a human smuggler. These are some of the darkest and most evil actions a person could engage in. And these guys are like, well, my boss told me to do it. I don't care.
But you could also have
zero sympathy.
Exactly.
You could also have a boss on a state level that's like, no, more razor wire. Don't do that. Like, you're choosing to work for the federal government where this is the order you're getting. There are states that wouldn't make you do this.
Sure, quit. If you're in CBP, quit right now. If you work for the Customs and Border Protection and you are getting a paycheck, knowing what they are doing, and you say, but my kid needs food, I want you in prison. I don't care. I have no sympathy whatsoever.
AD, hold on, real quick.
You are facilitating this when we have.
Yeah.
Lock them up. AD, check this out, right? You know that they routinely tell us that the country that leads the world in organ trafficking is who? It's China. That's what they tell us.
Oh, yeah, they're organ harvesting and all that shit.
But the reality is the country that leads in all trafficking, organ trafficking, sex trafficking, etc., isn't China. It's America. The U.S. It's the U.S. And the fact that like here's what I'm gonna just call it what it is. Here's the genius of what Trump did when he became president and he started to build the wall and we started to see all of the trafficking decrease.
Yep.
There's a part that people don't like to talk about. The part that people don't like to talk about is the fact that Trump was a part of Epstein's original case.
Yep.
What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that he was the one, similar to what he did in New York with the mafia. He did the same thing in Florida with Epstein. He's the one that was mentioning the fact that Epstein's out here and he has a proclivity for young women.
Yep.
It wasn't like he's working with the state, or all he did was put the alert out there. And that's what started the original investigation into Epstein. Now, when we look at all of this shit with the human trafficking, and we're the tip of the iceberg right now, because when we think human trafficking, we're thinking sex trafficking. That's what we're thinking right now.
Mm-hmm.
What about when you find out that the reason why Epstein put cement in all of those underground tunnels in his island is because of the fact that they were doing human sacrifices?
They take them for all sort of reasons, man.
Okay.
They take them for all sort of just demonic fucking reasons. Anytime you take
the majority of people in this country citing immigration,
a lot of these people don't even understand that they're even being trafficked because it's psychological.
as the principal
too.
issue. When
It's
you have
so
Democrats
sad, bro.
and Republicans in uproar, when Biden
I couldn't hear you.
and says
I
the
couldn't
border's
hear you.
not secure,
Yeah.
knowing what he's
A lot of these people that are being trafficked amongst, I'm not talking about the immigrants. They're doing that on another level. There's some people that are being trafficked and don't even understand that they're being trafficked.
doing. And you're like, I'm part of an
This onion
organization
has
that's
mad
operating a
layers.
smuggling operation. And I'm
This
like,
onion
stop,
has a
don't do
lot
that.
of
And he
layers.
Yeah,
This onion
like
has a whole lot of layers, bro.
that's a fact.
goes, but my kids need food. Okay, well, bank robbers' kids need food. And when they say I robbed a bank because I want to feed my family, we still put them in prison.
I think that's that's a reasonable point. It does remind me a lot of the Nazi guards who were just doing their jobs.
Yep.
Holy
We still
shit, dude!
dragged a bunch of them back from
What the
Argentina
fuck,
or
Christ?
wherever.
The same shit that we were just talking about, right?
What the fuck, bro?
Okay.
This is God. This
the
is
same
God
shit-
right here, Jack.
The
You
same
see
shit we
that?
were just talking about, right? The same shit we were just talking about.
Holy moly, bro!
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, like at the end of the day, I'm wondering whether or not the population is even prepared to.
Did y'all just
understand.
witness what the fuck happened, y'all?
I don't know
blown away
if
right now.
I don't even know if the population is prepared to consume the information that they're about to get. Because they're about to find out that it's not human trafficking, it's human trafficking, sex trafficking, organ trafficking. It's a bunch of shit that's going on across the entire fucking board. And the thing is that a lot of the names that we know as household names are a part of it. And that's where this whole shit becomes real muddled. And that's why the way that they're disseminating the information, they have to drip it. They have to drip it little by little. Because
let me stop and say this real quick. All these views that we express are just for entertainment purposes only.
Oh yeah.
Educational purposes.
This is just my own my own personal perspective. But
it wasn't about that. But go ahead, you're good.
I'm gonna just tell you straight up though, like when you look at the movie The Matrix, you remember how when Morpheus first gave Neo the information, and then Neo popped, where he ended up throwing up because the information was too much. This is what we're going through right now. The information might be too much for the average individual to be able to accept or comprehend. So for
it almost is, bro.
They're gonna look at it like it's not real, is what I'm saying. They're gonna look at it like it's not real. But at the end of the day, not only is this shit real, but reality is a lot stranger than fiction.
You got that right, bro.
The sooner that Liberty and I understand that we're not adversaries, we're actually comrades in the same battle, because they don't like either one of us. They're trying to replace both of us.
We're not in the proper tax brackets.
And the only way for us to be able to survive is for us to understand that we have the same enemy.
Well, y'all, brothers in arms, I'm willing to go down to death. So be ready.
At some point, you got to look yourself in the mirror and ask if what you're doing is moral.
I'm willing to go to death, you guys.
This is everything we're really dealing with in our country. In my opinion, is spiritual warfare. We've got a lot of good versus evil going on in our country, and people, to Tim's point, you know, they make excuses and say, "Well, I'm just doing this, or I've got to do it for this reason." But what you're doing is one of the most cruel, unjust things you can ever do, which is aiding and abetting and actually participating in smuggling, not just humans, but I mean children. This is absolutely despicable, and I love your outrage, and I share it with you.
You know, we had Michael Mouse came on the show a long time ago, and he said that, I'm paraphrasing, but the actions of politicians are letters to Santa without the police.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is the actions of, and so I've had a lot of people try to make this play. Politicians come in here. I'm like, no, you can't blame the cops. They're good people. It's the leadership that's bad. I say, I don't care about leadership. Bill de Blasio can go out in the middle of the street, buck naked, screaming to the wind for all I care. It's meaningless. But if he does it and the cops then protect him while he's doing it, now that's the problem. The individual officers who are engaging in this activity. This goes back to when de Blasio.
All right, we got that point, y'all. I'm gonna bring y'all to another point. Thanks, Dog Soldier, for this information I'm about to bring up right here. This is just falls right in line with what we've been saying, guys. What we're talking about up here. I was sitting here watching him for a minute.
That video was fire, by the way.
Yeah, I love Tim Pool, man. Y'all go subscribe over there. That's where I get most of my news. That was just a segment of his live stream. Like, he really gets to it, man.
Does he go live? Does he go live?
Live every weeknight at 8 p.m. He's the one that gets the most live viewers at that time slot, 8 p.m. night.
Send me his link so I can check that out.
I got you. Let me get this. All right, check it out. We are here. We're here. We're trying to give y'all some good news, y'all. Good news. Sorry.
What's going on, guys? Black Scout Survival, and I wanted to make a quick video this morning because I did a video a few days ago about a man at the southern border who was filmed by independent journalists, and the guy made, like, you know, some very cryptic threats, and apparently it came out that this guy literally is a convicted terrorist. Musum Samadov, who is convicted of terrorism. He's a leader of the Islamic terrorist group Azerbaijan Islamic Party, and he served 12 years in prison after being convicted of trying to overthrow his government. This is the thing that's been circling, everybody's been posting.
You are smart enough, you will know who I am. But you are really not smart enough to know who I am. But soon you're gonna know who I am.
What the fuck? This is the shit that's happening. But they don't care.
So yeah, this is the TikTok video that has been circulating, saying who he is, listing his crimes and things like that. Obviously, this is the same man. And I'm going to pull up the USURF website so you can see it for yourself, kind of go over his charges, and also an article for when he was convicted.
What border did he get caught at?
The Texas
Islamic Party of Azerbaijan, and
he didn't get caught.
I guess
he's here.
Nuts whenever they tried to make it where you didn't have to wear head coverings in school, and so he's a radical Islamist terrorist. And you got to think how many of these guys
face, y'all. He's here.
Now, I have looked and scoured the media to see if I could find anything about anyone reporting him coming across. There's been nothing. But here is his bio here. He's got charges relating to arms trafficking, illicit use of weapons with criminal premeditation, conspiracy of terrorism, treason, sedition, unlawful disobedience. Now, exactly almost a year ago, so January 19, 2023, he was released, and he was filmed on January 20th, 2024, coming through the southern border. And literally zero mainstream media has commented on this. I looked everywhere. When you look on Google, it does the thing where, oh, nobody's reporting on this. So it's
again, this is not a Mexican the way we're being told in the media. When they
Right.
make it sound that people are against immigrants coming here, they're making it sound like it's Mexicans. This
Yep.
is not a Mexican. This is a known terrorist who was able to get into the country, and now we have no fucking idea where the fuck he is in this country because he's been let loose in the goddamn country. So this has nothing to do with Mexicans coming through. Nobody is mad at Mexicans. Nobody is mad at Mexicans because it's not Mexicans that are coming through. It's everybody else. And we're being infiltrated and being allowed to be infiltrated so that they can create a situation that'll create a civil war situation for us in this country.
Absolutely.
It's like being hidden.
Be prepared, y'all.
But this is definitely the same guy.
And stay prepared. That way you do not have to get prepared.
And I knew something was up just by the guy's body language and how he was.
We love all our brothers.
Very,
but you shouldn't have to come to this country illegally if you don't.
Like with an ego, you're going to find out who I am and stuff like that. But you can screenshot this if you'd like. He was arrested in a I guess.
Watch for that face, you guys.
Over.
Watch
and then
for
they
that
realized
face.
who he was, and
I see him. I'm taking him down.
But selling, storing, transporting, carrying firearms, explosives, and he was part of an organized terrorist group. How many people did he come here with?
The right hand man.
And this is the thing, we just had
some of the hardest working people. Some of the hardest working people in the world are Mexican.
Say, hey, let's cut the razor wire. Texas is putting more.
But a Native American,
but
that's all.
Exactly
this is where we're at. Like they're letting these terrorists into the country. This is from 12 years ago. This article when he was jailed. Again, he's the head of the Islamic Party of Azerbaijan, and
head of it.
He was trying to overthrow his government. Now. The funny thing is that we had a guy here on my video comment and posted this. I pinned the comment because I always pin the trolls. Some jackass flaps his gums and people feel threatened. Is everyone a snowflake now? This guy doesn't even have it's like RHEISZ. Dude, this is how, and this is a subscriber here.
That's what I'll start doing.
Snowflake, dude. There's freaking terrorists coming through the border. You can tell when someone's like just flapping his gums. You can tell when someone means what they say.
Yep.
And that day, whenever I showed the video, that dude meant what he said. You could tell with the amount of ego narcissism he had about you're going to know who I am very soon. This man came here for one reason and one reason only.
Absolutely.
To conduct a terrorist act in the United States. 100%. That's why the media is not reporting. Nobody.
Let me tell you how confused our government has us. People don't understand that America is a fucking continent, right? That means South America, North America. Canadians are technically Americans. We're just the United States of America.
Yep.
But they have us so in our head. Oh man, those guys over there, they're Mexicans. No, bro, those are South Americans. They're still Americans. You know what I mean? Like, people don't understand that America is a continent.
That's a goddamn fact. That's a goddamn fact.
Come on, man. That's how they tricking y'all.
That's how they be tricking y'all.
No, that's
how they tricking them, Liberty.
Liberty. You know what's crazy is that it was a Mexican dude who told me during the last election that the Mexicans didn't even like the people who were coming over illegally either.
They don't.
Right.
They don't. Just like a real black African man don't like American black men.
Right.
Everyone in the world has their different views. No one's ever going to change them. And now that man walked across that border all alone. And he said, "You don't know my name, but you will know my name soon." What the fuck does that mean? You think he don't mean business? He meant that.
When somebody tells you who they are, believe them.
Listen to him.
Yeah.
Tristan's not talking about it. They're covering this stuff up. And where is he?
Nobody reported on that.
Where's this man right now? Why has the FBI not scooped him up? Why did they not scoop him up 2 days ago when the video released? But again, because of social justice, oh, you're a white supremacist because you want to close the border. No, we don't want freaking terrorists in our country.
You want to protect our borders.
It has nothing to do with white supremacy whatsoever.
We have Amy Coney Barrett siding with the Democrats. We have Kamala Harris on an interview a few days ago saying that this is the safest the border's ever been.
The safest the border has ever been.
Like Obama did more for securing the border than Joe Biden is. So,
you know, the president's never even been to the border.
It's bad, guys. This is where
not the president, the vice president.
Hero, because there's going to be
the vice president's never been to the border either.
Yeah, but you have to remember though, real quick.
These people are coming here for one reason.
She was named the border czar.
Yeah.
And yet she's never been
even been to the fucking border, bro.
But she's a border czar.
That's like the burger flipper at fucking Burger King not knowing what a Whopper is.
He's the manager of KFC.
Okay, exactly. Like, this is what the fuck this is what we exist in right now.
Yeah, we've given our government too much power.
Bro, listen, here's the thing. I know a lot of people are not fans of history. But if you actually research history, research how the Roman Empire, quote unquote, fell. Because it didn't really fall. All they did was transform.
Yeah.
They made
all empires fall.
But what I'm saying is this though. When the Roman Empire supposedly fell, it was a manufactured fall. They allowed all of these Gauls and other tribes to come into their borders to infiltrate their land,
the culture,
and their culture to be able to change it. And then they also allowed for what they call debauchery.
Yeah.
What is debauchery? Debauchery was hedonism, the sexual proclivities, all of that shit to undermine our social balance.
Yep.
And then from there, it makes it easy for you to engineer the fall of that society.
That's why I keep saying, man, I believe there's people working in our government right now that want to see this place collapse, man. They want to witness it. It's like, because they know for sure they're going to be okay.
Yeah,
right?
They call it the Great Reset.
No matter what happens to America, they're just fine.
They call it the Great Reset.
Yeah, I know.
That's what they want.
You have
I know
tons of men,
we're fighting back
women
again.
And children coming here, right? They're dressed quite well, you know. I saw the video of Mark Dice. I don't watch him very much, but I did see him. And you have to ask yourself in the video he did talking about the southern border, about the groups funding this and actually setting up, you know, and I forget, it's like an Israeli group that is helping people come to the United States because they want to keep their country secure. So they're helping send people here, like printing maps and things like that. You have to ask yourself what's really going on, right? I'm going to do a video in a little bit.
Ask yourself what's really
today.
going on. Now with that, I'm going to take you to this. Some on the ground reporting, some real good media.
Before you go to that though, AD, let me ask you a question. We support Israel. We support Israel so hard. Why is it that at every turn we're finding out that they're involved in our engineered downfall?
It's because they run half the fucking country. They run half of our country now.
Hola, mi nombre es Andrew Callahan y estás mirando Canal 5. Hoy estamos en la frontera, en una ciudad que se llama Gringo Pass, muy cerca a Mexico. I'm a gringo myself, trying to pass the time and figure out what the heck's going on. I've been hearing a lot about the border crisis.
The surge at the
in Arizona.
10,000 migrants a day.
Border crisis
10,000.
this, border crisis that.
More barbed wire on the border.
The border, they say, is closed. It's not.
But as you can see, there's not diddly squat happening behind me. And that's all by design. A few weeks ago, Arizona decided to shut down this particular point of entry because it was being overflowed with migrants who were seeking asylum in the United States.
Derek, there is no traffic here.
However, I have a sweeping suspicion that despite this actual vehicular passageway being closed, there's still a lot of migrants nearby who are attempting to enter the U.S. using different means than a vehicle through an official port of entry.
That's
Should do
right.
some
So they're
investigating.
making you think that the border is closed.
I began my investigation by attempting to breach the east side of the port of entry, walking carefully through the Border Patrol parking lot with confidence and purpose to avoid suspicion. We see one of their helicopters fly by, but aside from that, there's absolutely no one around. Or so it seems. As I continue to walk, I notice a suspicious white box truck in the back corner of the parking lot. It appears to be blocking something, but I'm not sure what. In order to get around the truck without raising suspicions, I feign interest in the local stray dog, who I can see frolicking in the distance behind the truck.
Perrito, perro, amigo, ¿qué es tu nombre? Perro, ay, perrito, ¿tienes hambre? ¿Quieres una treat? Look.
As I suspected, there they were. Hundreds of migrants, seemingly of African origin, lined up against the border fence, hidden from the cameras by Border Patrol. Then, to my left, I see Spanish-speaking migrants who were already being processed.
What's up? Hola. ¿Qué es tu nombre?
Not even telling you.
No. Pause it real quick. Pause it real quick. So let me ask you a question. African migrants. So that means that they had to have gotten an airplane ticket to leave the country that they're at to get to a South American country to then make the trek all the way up to the border.
You're saying they didn't swim?
Right, they did that. Yeah, they definitely didn't swim.
They definitely didn't take no boat either. Trust me, because that's a long haul on a boat.
So who is paying for their tickets to get from Africa to South America?
And who's allowing them on fucking planes? So that's what they're saying. They're getting there legally, right? And then they're coming into our country and ditching their identity.
And this is what I'm saying, though, AD. When I'm saying that it's an engineered downfall, because
I mean, some people could just work up enough money to get themselves on a plane.
By the thousands. Is that what you think? By the thousands?
No, I don't.
No, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like by the thousands.
They're definitely having like
who's funding them?
I don't know.
I think we do know. I think we know because of the fact that they're getting here and they're being shipped to certain states where they're considered to be the asylum states or whatever.
De México.
¿Cómo fue tu vida en México?
From Mexico.
Pues que por los carteles nos sacaron.
Cartels were kidnapped
de las casas.
¿Qué ciudad de México, Dios?
En Veracruz.
Sí.
Sí.
That's far, bro.
Que
The cartels are kidnapping them from Africa.
Sí,
They're
pues te
kidnapping
piden
them from
cuota
Africa.
y como si no tienes dinero, ¿de dónde le vas a dar?
Sí.
Y pues te sacan de tus casas.
Authorities in Veracruz have found 34 bodies wrapped in plastic bags in refrigerators.
The Navy says the suspects are part of the so-called New Generation Gang.
Que somos el grupo Matacetas.
Y estamos amenazados que no podemos regresar.
¿Y estás con tu familia aquí?
Sí, con mi esposa y mi niño.
¿Y qué quieres hacer en los Estados Unidos?
Pues quiero ir a trabajar.
Sí. ¿Qué tipo de trabajo prefieres?
Pues no sé, su tío de ella dice que me va a acomodar donde él trabaja.
¿Es tu primera vez aquí en los Estados Unidos?
Primera vez.
Sí.
Sí.
¿Y qué piensas?
Pues hay que ir a probar a ver cómo nos va.
¿Y ahora estás con la migra aquí?
Sí, exacto.
¿Ellos van a deportar o no?
Pues no sé, creo que ya nos van a dar paso para adentro.
He said, I don't know, but I think they're going to let me in.
Él está en Los Hills, California.
Sí. ¿Tienes familia en California?
Ajá, su tío de mi esposa.
Best of luck, man.
Sí.
Gracias. Sí.
Roberto's ultimate destination was Lost Hills, California, a small working-class town outside of Bakersfield, where the primary industries are pistachio farming and oil field drilling.
Hola, ¿qué pasa, mi amigo? ¿De dónde eres? ¿De Sinaloa? ¿Puedes decir tu nombre?
Bien, Alberto.
Sí, ¿cuántos años tienes?
12.
¿Y qué piensas sobre los Estados Unidos?
No sé, quiero ir a estudiar allá, quiero cumplir mi sueño, estudiar, es mi sueño aquí en Estados Unidos.
Sí, ¿qué quieres estudiar?
Quiero estudiar ingeniero de la agricultura.
Sí.
En las parcelas, en eso de los riegos y todo.
Sí. ¿Sabes inglés o no?
No.
¿Quieres aprender?
Sí.
Sí. ¿Cómo fue tu vida en Sinaloa?
Pues hay mucho movimiento de eso de las drogas y todo.
Sí.
Muy feo. Pues la droga, la violencia, todo eso.
Sí. ¿Hoy es tu primera vez en los Estados Unidos?
Ajá, mi primera vez.
¿Tienes miedo?
Sí.
Okay, todo está bien, mi amigo. Pretty much everybody we talked to said they're leaving because of like cartel-related reasons. Basically just saying that it's getting so hectic down there that they're just coming here. First dude wanted to work. The kid wants to study engineering and agricultural science. obviously, as I just started to explain, they closed down this border officially on December 4th to like cross traffic. So if you're going to Rocky Point to go vacation, you can't drive through Lukeville. You have to go through Nogales. And they did that because this small border town was being so overwhelmed by migrants.
Have to be
But as you
chartered.
can see, despite the fact that they
Yeah.
actually closed the port of entry, there's still hundreds of migrants that are just waiting along the border wall right here. I want to go talk to them because
they all appear to be African. I mean, there's a chance they could be Haitian or, Afro-Colombian or something like that. But I've seen a lot of recent news stories suggesting that most of these people are from Senegal, Gambia, Guinea, and so forth. Which is really interesting, obviously, because those are insanely far countries from America.
Yeah.
And I don't think Americans generally associate African nations with illegal immigration. I think typically they assume it's Mexicans and Central Americans fleeing narco violence or Venezuelans fleeing a regime change. And obviously we share a landmass with these countries to our south. So it makes perfect sense why they would come north when the standard of life is considerably higher.
Right.
But for someone to make the journey from Africa into Latin America and then take this almost tri-continental journey up into the United States is particularly strange, especially given the fact that Europe is much closer. There's first world nations that are much closer to these African countries that have a better healthcare and education system than America. So what is it about America that makes them feel like this journey is worth it?
And also, what life do they expect here in America? Because obviously, as we've documented in the past couple months, there's a lot of really shitty stuff happening in America. The state of our inner cities is already pretty bad. And so I wonder almost if like the American dream propaganda that they're being fed by media or by their friends or family members, if that's actually true.
I think America creates an atmosphere for people to achieve. So the American dream is just the ability to achieve. That's what it's about.
Like, is the American dream actually a reality for immigrants, or are they more likely to just face different types of hardships when they arrive? I don't know. Let's go talk to some people.
I wanted to talk to these African migrants, but because they were being deliberately safeguarded by Border Patrol, that seemed very difficult. They were essentially being held in what's like a demilitarized zone, a single lane patch of land between the port of entry and the actual border wall, which apparently American civilians cannot access unless authorized by personnel. Still, I drove 6 hours to get to this place, so I wasn't about to leave without at least trying to talk to them. Naturally, I began a westbound hike along the border wall, searching for a hole or an opening in the fence that would let me access where they were standing. Finally, I found a clearing in the fence and began my journey eastbound along the restricted pathway.
Man, this guy's fucking nuts,
Very quickly,
bro.
I was apprehended by law enforcement.
Yeah. So the actual border road here is.
Is that crazy?
Yeah, he's putting his freedom at jeopardy there, man. He's doing the most for sure.
Damn.
Closed.
Okay.
To anybody except law enforcement traffic, just because sometimes BP needs to kind of hoof it on.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
But you guys are welcome to take pictures or whatever, like from right here. Just get back to your car, do what you need to do.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Thanks. Yeah.
They won't let him.
Pretending that our car was in the direction of the migrants, we continued our mission.
Good
And
move,
predictably,
Andrew.
we're stopped again.
Have you coming through here?
Okay. We're just trying to find a good place to do some like interviews with migrants where we wouldn't get.
No, these gates are closed and locked. The border's closed.
You guys gotta go the other way.
Okay.
What
Where do you guys think is a
fucking
legal
liar.
place to get interviews and stuff like that?
Parking lot.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Somewhat disheartened, we ended up back at the empty parking lot where this video began. It seemed that Border Patrol was running a tight ship and being directed to deliberately mislead journalists. Or perhaps maybe we picked the wrong place along the border to begin our coverage. So we figured it was time to pack up and leave town. Then, seemingly from out of nowhere, an off-duty law enforcement officer approached us in his car and told us that we were just 1 mile away from the largest secret migrant detention facility in Arizona, which is embedded inside of a national park called the Oregon Pipe Cactus National Monument.
You turn on Palo Blanco Road, I believe it's.
Damn, they're
Go about a
housing
mile.
these people like
It's conveniently
crazy
hidden.
shit, bro. See, that right there shows you that something fishy's going on, bro. We should not be housing.
Hey, D, I'm gonna just say this, and I'm gonna go to the audience because I gotta go do some other shit. I'm gonna just say this. If you've ever seen the movie Red Dawn, the original or the remake, it doesn't really matter. The thing is that we can't be in, like, the reason why America was so unique is because as long as we had good relations with our northern border and our southern border, there was no way that anybody would be able to invade us.
Right.
There was no way.
Yeah.
In order for this particular empire to fall, you have to remember what the United States was called. The United States was called the Great American Experiment, is what they called it. The experiment. What is the experiment? Before America, whatever your parents were is what you became. If your dad was a carpenter, guess what the fuck you were gonna become? No, I mean, in America, it was the first time that you were able to be shown that you could become whatever you want and determine your own fate. Your own fate. This is why when Benjamin Franklin left the Constitutional Congress and they asked him, what did y'all decide on? A republic? A monarchy? What? He said a republic. But then he said, if you can keep it. That's the key phrase. If you can keep it.
It's wild, bro. That's wild.
No, I mean, if you can keep it. Now, because of that, that's what we're living through right now. Because we've been conditioned over time to believe that dissent is something negative. When in reality, according to the Constitutional Congress, dissent is the ultimate form of patriotism.
I agree. They're trying to do something, man. It seems like they're trying to, invade, and that's what they're doing.
They're invading from the inside out, not the outside in.
They're taking every avenue they can, and Biden just opened this big old hole up in America. So
I'm gonna jump back down into the audience,
appreciate you, brother.
Thank you so much for having me up, bro.
Bro, Brand, thank you.
One
love, bro.
Shout out to Christ is Black, man.
For sure, bro.
Literally
Always
thousands
great
of people
perspective.
and people from all over the world. What they do is when they come through the wall, they shed any type of ID. So you can find passports, currencies, driver's license, visas from Guinea, from Mauritania, Sierra Leone, Chad, Ghana, Egypt, Thailand, Nepal. It's phenomenal. You see discarded strollers, suitcases, day packs, purses, neck pillows.
I got to run outside.
I mean, these aren't
hold it down
the people that were crossing in years past. So
Yeah,
we're
I got
just
you,
trying
bro.
to get into California to make a living wage to send back home. This is a different demographic completely. Well, these are the guys bringing in the fence crossers would get across the border one way or another, and then they had 20, 30, 40 miles to get up, 60 miles to I-8. It was very difficult and arduous. Now, no, the cartel makes it really easy for them. They simply step across the border and walk to the Border Patrol and claim asylum. I'm a pro-immigration person. We need immigration, but not this way. Not the way it's being done now, where no one has any idea of who these people are. It's just totally unsustainable.
What do you think is the right way to do it?
I wish I had an easy solution. I don't know. It seemed to me that Title 42 was working pretty well under a previous administration, which required people to claim asylum
first
on the first country they hit, rather
you have to go
right into America first.
So what is
you have to claim asylum there, be a citizen of that country, then come to America. Come on, man. What's good, DMW?
We're shaking. We're shaking.
What up,
Shit,
yo, all of it, y'all was saying is facts, but listen, it is by design. It is by design because what they got to do, right? Remember, they're looking for a great reset. So you got to crash the system. We seen they giving all that money to Ukraine. They doing all the money for the migrants. This is all to collapse the system because we know the U.S. ain't all this crack. I mean, we a great nation, yes, but we going through a thing right now. And all this influx of population, we talking what? They saying probably 11 million.
Yeah.
That's the size of what, Dallas?
What, in 1 year, ain't it?
Shit.
Let
So
it
yeah,
be
man.
1 year. That's a lot.
And yo, and you know who's funding it? Is the NGOs. They the ones that's funding them out of the country, non-governmental organizations. They rallying them up, setting them up, and they sending them this way.
Yeah.
All that dude's money. I don't want to say his name. Get your spot hot.
Oh, you good? I don't give a damn, dude.
Begin with an S, end with an O. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, that's what it is, man. And another thing, like, yo, look, I'm a first generation born in here, right? My parents, both of them, came from Guyana in South America, right?
Okay.
Now, everybody want people that, as a human being with a conscience and a heart, you want others to have a good way of life. Nobody wants to see anybody doing bad. But the thing about this situation with these migrants, they've been weaponized, first of all. Now,
that's a good point.
Of that, they've been weaponized. One against, 45, because he's a racist and all that. But number two, people got to think that these people are human beings that want a better life. Now, if you know where they came from and where they ended up at here in the United States, it's not a better life because they being sheltered. They being sheltered like cattle. It's crazy. I work at Queensbridge. They built a whole bunch of new hotels over there.
I'm gonna be pointing out that point too, right in this.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't want to overtalk.
No. Keep going, bro. You good?
But I pass every day. It's like it's the projects, and then it's the migrants. It's like two different worlds mashed together.
And they're making you stay like that, right?
Yeah,
they're forcing it. Like, is there community halls being held? Or is there like town meetings being held? Town meetings, community hall meetings being held to stop this?
Yo, listen, check this out. Now we supposed to have no, that was in Chicago. Listen, the problem with New York is a one-party city, right?
Yeah.
So if it's an agenda for the Democrats to be pushed, there's no resistance because they're going to their constituency, they're gonna sugarcoat it and sweet talk it, and they're gonna hook, line, and sinker it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the thinkers, the ones that think about things and try to analyze stuff, we outgunned out here.
Yeah, we are. We're outgunned. Good point, man.
I mean, because New York City is a liberal shithole. You know what I'm saying? But it's the bluest part of this. The whole state is red, except for New York City. But we got the densest population.
Yeah, we do. I mean, you do. Sorry.
Yeah. That's all.
Well, you gotta understand that people's all been conditioned
It's
to be
scary to think about, bro. Like, they're not really doing that to Indianapolis. They're not forcing.
All been conditioned all across America to feel entitled, man. That means everybody feels like they got something to say, and they're not gonna back down until you hear it and fucking. Oh, you gotta fucking go with what I'm saying, and just like DNW saying, the people that are actually thinkers that are trying to go against this shit, it's too late. Everybody else has already been conditioned to just go along with this shit.
Yep. All right, let's see what this dude's saying.
42. The order started during the Trump administration. It allowed the government to turn away migrants to slow the spread of COVID-19.
The Trump-era health policy that allows authorities to immediately deport most migrants. When it ends, tens of thousands currently waiting in Mexico can apply for asylum. Authorities say they're preparing for a spike in migrant crossings, upwards of 10,000 per day.
How many people would you estimate are coming through?
But I would estimate certainly more than a couple thousand a day.
Wow.
You just run the numbers. With the numbers that we're seeing, if you even say 1% aren't the greatest people with the greatest intent, we're in danger. And it's being done to profit the cartels. Just using my own rudimentary math skills, I think they're making about $1 billion a month
Yeah,
people
man.
into the U.S. What they do is they saw cut
Insanity.
the bollards in the wall,
To fucking,
and they pull
as
it
soon as
back and then
America
funnel
started
people
saying,
through. And then when they
as soon
close
as
that
America
bollard,
started
push it
saying that
back
they was gonna
onto
let
where it was.
Americans be in control of the drug trade or the weed trade and shit like that, the
Yeah.
fucking cartel had to fucking figure out a way to make money. Not that they wasn't already trafficking, but before, I mean, that was one of their big fucking hauls. But they was doing a lot of fucking drug trafficking before because it was a lot easier and unnoticeable.
Yep.
But they just had to figure out a way to get around, you know, all the laws and shit. And it seems
But now
like
they do it right in front of our faces.
seems like we did that for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Previously affixed, you can't see except for, I mean, there's a tiny little crack where they saw cut it. So, and this happens all along that 12-mile section.
Midway through my interview with this man, I had a shocking revelation. This maybe, just maybe, was the same guy that I interviewed 5 years ago at the raid of Area 51.
So what are your thoughts on the aliens, man?
It was.
They're here. They're here. They're here right now. They're walking among us on two legs, human-like. Oh yeah. Do you plan on raiding tonight, sir? Oh, I've already been in. What was in there? They're in there. They're in there. Totally. Yes. Anyways, man, thanks for the interview. Good luck. You're a brave soldier.
I didn't realize this until after I filmed the interview, but looking back, it actually makes sense. In both encounters, he's on the outskirts of federal land,
Illegal
claiming
alien.
the government is hiding some crazy shit that he himself just saw.
5 guys in camouflage from head to toe, black masks with the camouflage backpacks running as fast as they could.
Damn, that's a crazy situation. So for us as journalists, if we wanted to get the firsthand scoop of what's going on, you mentioned you felt like a processing center was the best place to check out.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And that is over there.
Mm-hmm. I find it curious why it's hidden. Because logistically, it would seem to me to be much more efficient if they put it right up here on the highway.
No
It
shit.
seems like it was intentionally put 3/4 of a mile off the road, so taxpaying citizens wouldn't see it.
You know what they say, man?
You go in there right now?
Yes.
The easiest way to get away with something is doing it right in front of everybody.
Yeah.
We follow you guys?
Right under the
Sure.
right.
Cool.
Right,
I'll see you in a second, man. Thanks so much. All
right,
right, so I guess we actually
Yep.
We're not doing that. You don't see us doing it.
Right.
kind of are in the right place to find migrants to speak
We're
to.
dumbasses.
That dude that just pulled up and talked to us, he actually agreed to take us directly to the migrant processing center where everyone's being kept.
Wow.
He said that it's located like in a hidden location 4 to 5 miles away from the state road that runs through this place. So we're just gonna follow his car and yeah, hopefully get some footage, guys.
You know, take them out in the desert.
To my surprise, my unbeknownst old friend was not bullshitting about the processing center.
Oh, sure.
In the middle of the Sonoran Desert, hidden
Holy
behind Border
shit.
Patrol vehicles and makeshift tents, were hundreds upon hundreds of migrants, all of whom who hopped the U.S.-Mexico border within the past couple hours.
What the fuck, bro?
It was a shocking sight to see. Hundreds upon hundreds of people from all around the world, herded like cattle on the cold desert floor, sitting in silence, awaiting an uncertain future.
That don't look like no dream to
Despite
me.
these conditions, spirits are generally high, especially among children.
No dream.
Many of who have been walking,
That's
hopping
what I'm
trains,
saying. You
hitching
leaving
rides,
ain't
surfing
nowhere near.
for weeks and even months.
Nope.
Now they've finally made it to the reality.
And how long these people supposed to be kept like that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and they did nothing wrong.
But they sell it like, oh, we gotta, you know what I'm saying, look out for the people, but you gotta understand they're not coming to a setup situation.
Nope.
Life can
At
make
all.
something out of themselves.
I guess they call them detainees. They've been walking on this road. This road runs for 12 miles, 12 or 13 miles. What it does is it parallels our border fence.
In our next episode, Migrant Detention Facility.
Oh, we got that too, y'all. We got the detention center too, y'all. That's crazy, bro. Why are they housing these people like cattle, bro?
But guess what though? But
In
you
the
know
middle
what?
of the Sonoran.
Real quick, and I'm gonna land. Remember Biden ran on when the border's wide open. My man here, Eric Adams, talking about we a sanctuary city. Low information voters, they voted for this. I tell them, I be on the train, like I let them know, y'all voted for this, man.
Yeah, man.
But
y'all voted for this bullshit.
That's how they're gonna trick you.
You got it.
That's how they're gonna trick you. They're gonna make you think that this is the thing that you want, when really it's not.
It's not, but that's what I'm saying. But see, they hit them with the one issue that grabs them by the heartstrings, while they slipping all the other stuff in the. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, they talk about women and children, but over there, the right hand is doing something else while the left hand is saying something else.
Yeah, but these people are getting more than what we're getting, bro. Some of these people are already on welfare.
It runs for 12 miles, 12 or 13 miles. What it
Lots
does is
more,
it
ain't they?
parallels our
That's why
border
Jack's
fence.
so heated.
On the other side of it, on the
That's why
Mexican
he's
side
mad
of it,
about the
through,
more
and so
migrants. Motherfuckers, them son of bitches.
They're getting $9,000 in Chicago. I want to die.
the immigrants just walk
Hey,
down
yo,
this road.
listen, real
Right,
talk,
so as
real
you guys
quick.
can probably see
Funny
right here.
shit. Oh, I ain't even. I'm gonna send it to you, AD. But y'all was watching Mac Mean last night, and Crack Frost made an appearance. That shit was hilarious.
Oh fuck!
That's a group of
Think about it.
5
Frost would
migrants
be
who just
better
hopped
off
aboard.
just throwing away his ID and his fucking social and going to Chicago and saying he's Guyanese.
Hey, hey, hey!
And they're walking directly into Border Patrol custody
to join the seated group of migrants that we just encountered.
Yeah, they're just.
So typically, when you think of the border, at least me personally, I thought it was like people hop and then try to
Look,
evade.
they're
Border
running,
Patrol
bro.
because
They're
they
like, we
to a
finally
large
made
US
it to
city
our final
start a new life.
destination.
But in this case, you can see they are putting themselves directly in the custody of Border Patrol to begin the asylum-seeking process. Like they're not trying to evade or anything.
A Border Patrol agent agreed to speak with us, but didn't want to go on camera. Normally, agents are not allowed to be interviewed, and all press requests are typically deferred to a public information officer who rarely ever responds. But in this instance, the agent seemed exhausted and eager to tell me what was going on.
Uh-oh.
No, there's very few of them evading.
How come?
Well, because they allowed them in.
Y'all be back up
They
in
don't
a few,
evade
or if not,
because they'll let them come
salute.
in, they'll
Appreciate your
load them in vans,
hospitality,
take them up to
AD.
Phoenix.
Hey, no problem,
Man.
man. Anytime, bro.
You already know. Y'all be good.
You too,
I'm
bro.
in the clouds, though.
Appreciate
Shout
you,
out
bro.
to Top Shotter.
Hey, man,
Oh,
motherfucking
my, you're
real
done up.
shit over here, man. Smart as a motherfucking book,
Give them
bro.
a $3,000 gift card and a cell phone and send them wherever they want to go.
See, hear that?
Court date. You have 2 years to show up in court. That's the reason I give them a phone, because they're saying if they don't give me a phone, I don't know when I'm supposed to go to court. So they give them a phone.
At first, I was confused what the Border Patrol agent meant when he kept referring to they. To the naked eye, it appears that Border Patrol is the one handling and processing the migrants, but they're only the first step in a chain of bureaucratic
So
authority
they're giving
that
them
goes
all
up
chips
to the
that they
Department
can
of
track them
Homeland
with.
Security, then finally up to the Department of Justice's Executive Office for Immigration Review, which is more or less controlled by the Biden administration, who've taken a much more open arms approach to immigration after pulling back Title 42 just about a year ago. But despite pushing for more lax border laws in comparison with President Trump,
The wall just got 10 feet taller, believe me.
Biden hasn't done anything to make the process of applying for citizenship any faster. In fact, it still takes between 18 to 24 months to get a response on a citizenship application. And it's actually possible to be denied citizenship if you fail to memorize and regurgitate fun facts about the history of America.
How many amendments does the Constitution have?
It has 27 amendments.
Good. Which group of people was taken to America and sold as slaves?
Africans.
Good. Excellent.
So it makes sense why a lot of migrants, many of whom are facing desperate circumstances,
the
avoid the
fuck?
citizenship application process altogether. I wonder if my great-great-grandparents, who were economic refugees that fled Ireland in the wake of the potato famine, experienced such an arduous process when they arrived to America illegally. Unlike these migrants who arrived at the southern border, my family arrived on boats to Ellis Island 115 years ago. Much like Roberto and Alberto, who we interviewed in our previous episode, Arizona Border Crisis,
Wow.
they found themselves in a strange new land with pennies to their name. They had no particular plan, but what they did have was the willpower and determination
That's
to
the
work as hard
immigration
as they
I'm
could
for.
with the hopes of one day providing a brighter future.
That is the immigration I'm for. This bullshit we got going on now is not immigration. It's
And it
human
worked. And
smuggling.
that's all thanks to Grandpa Jerry,
Build
who
that
died
wall.
30 years before I was born. I wonder
Finish
if he was
building that
asked
wall.
who Paul Revere
Put
was,
towers
or
on
what
that
the Boston Tea
motherfucker.
Party was. Was there a concern back
I
then?
think we should
How
get
about
what
take all the
Israel has.
immigrants? How about take all the immigrants that are trying to pass and have them build the wall while we vet them? You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep. Put them to work.
So we
If you
got a
want,
job
to
for
live
you.
here, point. Good point. You want to live here, son of a bitch? Build that wall.
And I'm gonna jump back
But these
down in the
migrants
chat for a
weren't
minute.
American
Liberty,
enough to
appreciate you,
join
bro.
our
All right, peace.
society? Or is that
Peace.
way of thinking a new phenomenon, driven by the paranoia of a white minority?
An analysis of census data from the Brookings Institute projects the number of white Americans will fall below 50% for the first time
There's the
ever
Hodge
in about
twins. He played the Hodge twins.
20 years, 2045.
Or perhaps it's less about race and more about the burden of inheriting global poverty when we have so many problems of our own. I
Yeah.
guess times have changed a lot too.
Why
It's
are
not
we
like there was
inheriting
fentanyl
global-
or cartels back then. And most immigrants plan to move to America forever, not stack up money here and go back home. I don't have the answers, but I do have a lot of questions. One question in particular: how can we as Americans expect to propagandize the entire world with our dream through Hollywood, the music industry, and the testimonies of self-made American billionaires, while simultaneously exploiting the labor, crops, and raw earth materials of developing nations, freezing the economies of our political opponents through trade sanctions, and creating rival drug cartels with our insatiable appetite for cocaine, fentanyl, meth, and heroin, and not expect a global economic refugee crisis at the southern border? But that being said, no matter where you stand on illegal immigration, I think we can all agree that our system, as it currently stands, is broken.
We have a legal process for immigrants, and it's being done by some, but it takes forever.
Yeah.
You know, so it needs to be sped up for those
Yeah.
those with skills and those who want to come and build skills and be Americans and be proud to be here and work and better their lives and their families. And the treacherous journey that they have to take across the border and through the desert, you're losing lives that way. And so I just hope
agree,
in
man.
2024 we can rectify this
Hey,
problem.
man, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Hope y'all had a good day, man. I come up here to chill with y'all, man, and actually talk about something other than like Jack and I want to have these different types of conversations because people, no matter what, are receptive. You might not get it all, but you get some of it, man. And I don't know who you're going to vote for come November, but please vote. And when you vote, tell somebody about it. Tell somebody who you voted for. That way the world as a whole will know that if they try to do something slick with this election, you'll know this time. You know, we won't have to worry about a January 77,000 or a stolen election, right? We won't have to worry about it if we vote. Get out there and vote. Tell your children to vote. Tell your friends to vote. Go vote. Y'all have a good day, man. I appreciate y'all. What a conversation. I seen that we weren't dogging on Jack. So we didn't get the rush, but I didn't want to rush. I didn't care to have a bunch of people in here that didn't want to be in here. I only want the people in here that care to be in here. That goes from here on out. If you don't want to be in here, you don't got to be in here. I just want you in here if you care to be in here. Thank you for teaching me along the way, bro. What's good, Shots?
Oh, yo, my bad. Yo, real quick. Liberty had said something earlier, and I wanted to just add on. What he was talking about was the bodies, because that trek is treacherous.
Yes.
And on normal circumstances, you know what I'm saying, people get missing. But you got to imagine thousands of people coming across.
They help each other.
It's thousands of bodies. Bodies.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they're killing each other. They're killing each other out there.
Yeah, man. So, like I said, it's not about not wanting people to have a better life, but it's a good way, it's a right way to do it. And also the way they coming across here, their lives are being put in jeopardy in a major way. Not only to come to get here, to be also treated like, you know what I'm saying, human trash. Who wants that?
Yeah. When you get here, it ain't all peaches and cream.
That's what I'm saying. That's a fact. You know what I mean?
You be here homeless too.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what they are. They all in shelters, ain't they?
Yep. They're building them for them.
That's it. But yeah, I just wanted to add that on, man. Appreciate you again, man. You already know.
Bro, your shit, Top.
You already got it. You got it, man.
BMW, man. Go over and subscribe. He has a channel too, y'all. Go over and hit my man up, y'all. Go over and give him a subscription or something, man.
And check your boy out. If you come through, appreciate you in advance. Thank you, and you know what I'm saying? Interact. We here, though.
Thank you, sir. All love, B.
You already know, man. Be good.
You too, Shot.
I'm in the crit ads.
Hey, man, I love y'all, man. Y'all have a beautiful evening, man. This is my last live of the night. I got a little bit of company coming over, so I'm gonna lay back and chill. Hey, man, go out there, do something good in the world. Stamp God's name on it. I'm not even gonna do that, man. Hey, thanks for giving me your time. Time is something that we really can't afford to waste it. But hey, you wasted it with me, so thank you. What's good, Liberty? He might have left. Ooh-wee. Okay. All right. Hey, man, I appreciate you guys, man. Enjoy y'all evening. Jack, you come on here. I'll bust.